A long-standing battle over the city's right to shelter migrants came to an end Friday following a New York State Supreme Court ruling. City officials claim they have been inundated by the influx of more than 180,000 migrants arriving to New York over the last 2 years. The migrant crisis led Mayor Eric Adams to ask a judge to suspend the city's legal obligation to shelter single adults. Friday's settlement relieves the city of certain obligations to shelter adult migrants under the current state of emergency. Adams saying the right to shelter was put in place over 40 years ago and is now outdated.
We have been clear since day one that the right to shelter was never intended to apply to large-scale migrant populations arriving without housing or legal work status in such a short period of time. This new agreement acknowledges the realities of where we are today.
As 64,000 migrants are still in the shelter system, city officials can now deny housing to single adults after a 30-day stay unless they have a disability or can prove an extenuating circumstance. The agreement was also a win for migrant advocates, as the city must now ensure new arrivals have their basic needs met as they move towards resettlement, commit to providing shelter for 30 days, and extend shelter stays beyond 30 or 60 days as long as an effort is being made to find housing outside of the shelter system.
For the past 10 months, we've been fighting to protect the integrity of the Callahan Consent Decree and to make sure that even in times of crisis, the city is held accountable for its legal and moral obligations to people in need. It is our belief that this agreement does that.
Adams says as the city has opened more than 200 sites across the 5 boroughs to house asylum seekers, the new ruling gives more flexibility to manage the influx of new arrivals. Younger adult migrants between the ages of 18 and 23 will have more time to find housing and are allowed to stay in shelters for up to 60 days. The ruling only applies to adults without children and does not impact families in the city's care. Now, the settlement is temporary and only lasts until the migrant crisis ends. Shirley.
And John, I understand there's also news about those so-called migrant waiting rooms. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, asylum seekers would often sleep in a chair or sometimes on the floor of migrant waiting centers. But today's ruling actually requires the city to eliminate the use of those centers as a shelter.
All right.